Jeffrey Epstein, a name that has become synonymous with scandal, power, and tragedy. While Epstein's life and actions have been the subject of intense media scrutiny, there are still many questions about the full extent of his network and activities. The Epstein Files documents that hold the keys to understanding the full scope of Epstein's network are still being released, piece by piece. But there's a reason these files are so carefully guarded. What's inside these documents? And why are some of them still locked away from the public eye? In early 2025, the U.S. Department of Justice released the first batch of Epstein-related files. Among them, flight logs, contact books, and victim testimonies. But here's the catch: these are only the beginning. The flight logs reveal names that you wouldn't expect. Big names, powerful names, people who were connected to Epstein and his private jet. But were they just passengers, or were they more involved than they're letting on? These flight logs, some of the most significant pieces of evidence, show that Epstein wasn't operating alone. The contact book, though redacted, gives us a glimpse of who was in his circle, but we still don't know the full extent of his connections. How deep did it go? Then, there are the testimonies, the voices of over 250 women who accuse Epstein of abuse. These aren't just stories, they're first-hand accounts from survivors, detailing the horrors they endured. But there's something chilling about these testimonies. Why are some victim stories still not being heard? And why are these testimonies, which are essential to the case, being withheld? Could it be that the truth is more dangerous than we realize? As much as we've seen, much more remains sealed. The logbooks from Epstein's private island, the very place where many of these abuses allegedly took place, remain hidden. But why? What's so important in those logbooks that the public can't know? What secrets could they expose? Records of wiretaps, financial transactions. Some of Epstein's closest associates are still being protected. But why? What do these files reveal about the powerful people who were connected to Epstein? And how far does this web stretch? Among the people tied to Epstein are names that you'll recognize. Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, and even President Donald Trump all have been linked to Epstein through flight logs, social events, and business dealings. But the questions are, how much did they know? Were they just acquaintances, or were they part of something much larger? President Trump's name, in fact, appears multiple times in the released Epstein files. The flight logs show that Trump flew on Epstein's private jet at least 8 times between 1993 and 1997. The contact book, though redacted, lists Trump's name alongside others like Ivana, his first wife, and his daughter Ivanka, giving the impression of a personal relationship between Epstein and Trump. But let's be clear, just because Trump's name is listed doesn't mean he was involved in Epstein's crimes. Trump himself has denied any close ties to Epstein and claims they had a falling out in the early 2000s. But these flight logs and the contact book raise questions that are hard to ignore. How close was Epstein to the people in his network, and what did they know about his activities? The fact is, we still don't have the full picture. While we've seen some documents, many of the files are still sealed. These documents could provide the answers we need to understand the true extent of Epstein's operations and who else was involved. While the first set of files has been released, many remain hidden, and every day, more documents are being reviewed, more testimonies are being examined. But the big question remains, what is the government still trying to hide? And what's so dangerous about these files that they've been locked away for years? Are we about to uncover a conspiracy that could shake the foundations of the political and financial world? Or are we simply being fed pieces of a story that's only just beginning? The Epstein files are far from finished. And the truth, it may be closer than we think. Make sure to subscribe. The next chapter of the Epstein files is waiting to be revealed, and it might just change everything.